Hi, this is the Peaceful Prepper. Today I want to show you some things I add to my EDC in the winter, including a couple of options for EDC items that can help you walk more safely on the ice. I've also made some small changes to my year-round EDC.
I'm not going to review my whole EDC. I've made a video about that, but I do want to show you some of the small changes I've made in my EDC in general and the things that I add in the winter. So my wallet and the things in that haven't changed. I did change my key setup since my first EDC video, but I did an update video on the Key Smart that I bought several months ago. So I'll link that below. And I still carry around a pair of sunglasses. So this was also in my previous EDC video that I call my Gee, I Wish I Had bag, because this is what I carry around most of the time that just has all kinds of things in it. I've made a couple of small changes. One, I now have, instead of inside, I keep the pen outside because I tend to want to get at that. And I realized how full this was all the time. It's not always easy to find things. At one point, I think in my last video, I did say that I kept one of those very small tubes of crazy glue. Fortunately, I kept it in extra plastic because with such a small bag that gets put into other small bags, within a week, I noticed that it was crushed and had spilled all over the bag. So I no longer keep that. And because it was so crowded, I looked at some things that I was trying to remove that I could. And one of the things that I took out, because I just hadn't found myself using it as much as I used to, is my tape measure. So that I no longer carry around every day. I also changed the cordage that I'm taking, and I meant to bring out the other one. Well, I'll show a picture of it. This is the same size. The cordage I had before was from the same company, Gear Ward, but it was yellow and it was Kevlar cordage, and I believe this is Technora. That was about 25 feet. This is, let me see if you can see it better. This is only 10, but it's quite a bit thicker. And when I was using the Kevlar just day to day, it was so small, it was much harder to deal with it, and a little bit more slippery. So I switched to this one for my everyday use. There are times when it's nice to have a lot of cordage, but for EDC I really don't need it, and having something that's easier to tie makes more sense for me. So that I've added to this bag. For the winter I take out the mosquito protection or bug wipes that I carry around. I've also added just a very small part of a small post-it note to be able to write notes. And I just bought this, which is a flat, I feel like I'm not sure how well things are showing up, which is a flat nail clipper that you can open up. And I'm very surprised how well it cuts nails. I think it's just as good as any other nail clipper that I've ever bought from the drugstore. This is from Blue Cell, and it's about $6 or $7 on Amazon. There are several other brands that make a flat one like this. Most of them were more expensive, or just higher quality brands. So I'm sure there may well be, they may be more durable, etc. But this is working very well for me. And you just pull it back and it's flat again. So that's really easy to keep in this pouch. The other thing that I've added are earplugs, which I hadn't thought about carrying for EDC until I did the video on hearing protection. And what I chose to carry for my daily use are called Edemotic. I'll print it out so you can see better. And they came with this little container. These are not highly protective. They have a NRR, which is the noise reduction rating, only of about 12, and NRR runs up to about 30. But I find they're very comfortable. they help a lot with sort of everyday sounds. And I have no problem hearing what's going on with me when I'm wearing these. The first couple days that I wore them, I made sure that I was walking with a friend because I didn't want to be unable to hear what's going on and be surprised by something. But it didn't even impact our ability to have a conversation while we were walking down the street. But the street did seem much quieter to me, and we walked by some work being done with, I think there was a jackhammer, but loud noises. They certainly were more muffled. I could hear them and they were loud, but more muffled. And these are great on the subway. So I feel like they don't take away from my being aware of my surroundings, but they give me some hearing protection. Oh, well, so those are the changes that I've made to this EDC bag. Then in the winter, and those will be year-round changes. In the winter, like most people who live in a cold climate, I always have a hat, gloves, and a scarf. That's just part of my EDC. Even if I'm not wearing them, once it's cold enough, I'll always have them in my pocket. But I like to add some additional things. So I have another pouch, and in this, these are actually not the ones I usually keep. These are glove liners, and these are really nice wool ones, which are great, I have to say, but these I usually wear when I'm outside for long periods of time, maybe cross-country skiing or something like that, that I need more protection. And someplace in my house I have thinner ones that I'm going to put in this sack, but I couldn't find them, and I'm just starting to collect these things. I also have some hand warmers and a neck warmer. It's just a thin that I can put around my neck. I can pull it over my ears, around my head, so that it almost will cover everything that a balaclava will. And it's very thin to fit in the pouch. Then I have a little plastic bag in case anything is wet that needs to go in here. This, I've just bought these. I had an old pair that it doesn't take long for these to start bending for me. And these are not expensive, but I don't really need something expensive. I certainly wouldn't wear them every day. But these are very small things, easy to carry in a pouch, that give you better traction when you're walking on the ice. And just about every year I'm able to make a spectacular arms flying slide, end up on my butt having slipped on the ice. And it's getting less and less fun to recover from as I'm getting older. I don't bounce as much as I used to. So I'm hoping that these will be useful when I'm just out and about and then I find myself in an area that has a lot more ice. I can just put these on my shoes. And the way they work, they just have a Velcro, you slip it through, and it fits on your shoes. If you have bigger feet, these just arrived, so this is the box they came in. These are called No Slip Ice Cleats. I hope you could see that. They have little Velcro extenders, so if you have larger boots on or feet and this won't fit this way, you can use this as an extender and you'll get a lot more room. So these are my carry around every day in my smaller pouch. But I do want to mention these, which also I just got. I've used these before, but had borrowed someone else's and finally got some of my own. These are Yak Trax walkers. What I really like about these, and I like them better than these, is the kind of, these go over the whole shoe. And these are new, so they're still in that shape, but when I put them on my shoe, they work just fine. But instead of sharp spikes, it's just this round traction. And in the city, you're much more likely to be walking on a slippery layer of ice or snow that's not that far away from the cement. And with these, one, the cement, once you walk on a really thin area that you go right on the cement, it's easy for these to just bend. And it's not that comfortable. You put these under the ball of your foot and you step on them and you have these 4 spiky areas that if you're wearing really heavy duty boots, you might not feel that much. But if you put these on because you don't have heavy duty boots on, it's not fun to walk for very long. Whereas these don't sort of spike into your foot at any time. They're not going to bend because they hit the cement, or if they do, it doesn't matter that much. So if you carry a bigger bag, and these are not, I would say this, and obviously this is not a exact measurement, but these are really not heavier than these, but they're larger. I don't need the, sorry, I don't use those. So these are very easy to put in a little pouch, these not so much. But if you have a larger bag and we're thinking of carrying something like this in the city, I think these are a great choice. This is something that if I'm going to walk around my neighborhood and I'm leaving from here, or I think I'm going to need to have them on most of the time, I'd put these on for the day. But these will just be in my bag if I need them when I wasn't expecting.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Be safe, be happy.